Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be doing a cage zombie bloody fleshy look on our face. So we're going to have our latex and we're going to have some cotton swabs. If you guys don't have cotton swabs, tissue paper it works as well. So what we're going to do today is I already mapped out where I kind of wanted to lay all of my product today. I'm just going to take some latex and I'm going to pour it into a bowl, just so we can kind of control how much latex we're using today. And I'm going to have a couple of sponges, and that's what I'm going to apply my latex with.
By creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is just taking my sponge and dipping it into my latex, and I'm just going to start dabbing the latex wherever I drew my white line at. And I'm not going to put a whole bunch of latex on my face. I'm just going to, well, we're going to put a lot of latex on our face, but just to start off, you can do like a really thin line and just kind of start waiting till it starts to get kind of tacky, and then we're going to start adding our tissue paper or our cotton swabs. Preferably, I think that you guys should get cotton balls, just because I feel like it gives it a better effect and more kind of gory, and like your skin's kind of been torn and hanging. But tissue paper works just as well.
So then, why?
So I am just letting the latex dry, and I am taking some tissue paper, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to split it in half, just because it gives us a thinner layer of the tissue and more of a seamless skin-like finish. Like wherever our mouth is going to start, it's going to look more like skin than just like latex and rumpled up paper. So what you're going to do is just take little pieces of that, and you're going to lay it wherever your latex is, and then you're going to cover that tissue paper back up with latex. You want to make sure you saturate it, because we are going to be sticking a lot of paper onto our face. So if pieces like that come off, just take them off your face and reapply more tissue paper, and then just saturate it into some more latex. And that's basically what I am doing for the top part of my mouth. Basically the whole outer layer, wherever we drew our white line at, that is just kind of what I am doing all around my face. And it's totally up to you if you want to add more, or if you want it to be really, really thick, or if you don't want a lot up there. It's just kind of your own preference. But I always think that the messier the better. Okay, so I'm just going to do that for the rest of my face. So whenever I finish, I'll be on here to tell you guys the rest.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he described. By creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
Alright, so when your little cage fleshy mouth starts to look like this, I am starting to put the little flesh pieces that are going to be going across our mouth. But I do advise you guys to paint the inside of your mouth black. I did forget to do that, but you're going to see in a minute where I realized that I fucked up. And that was right about now. That's when I realized I should have painted the inside black before I started putting more latex on there. And before you guys paint your mouth black, you do want to make sure that your latex is dry. It's just gonna it's gonna look better and not be all, it's not gonna get the latex on your brush and everything like that. And make sure whenever you guys are using whatever paint that you guys are using, don't use too much solution or water, because it is going to give us a thinner black, and you kind of want that black to be pretty dark, because we don't really want to see the inside of our mouth. We kind of want to give it the illusion that it's not there. So once we've painted the inside of our black, blah blah blah. Once we've painted the inside of our mouth black, I am gonna go in with a blow dryer and start making sure that all of our latex is dry. It doesn't really take that long whenever you use a blow dryer, but if you don't use a blow dryer, it will take a little minute, and that's also gonna help us dry the black paint that's on our mouth. Okay, so I told you guys I didn't have any cotton balls, and that is why I was using tissue, but I really did not like the effect that I was getting with the toilet paper, so I just decided to take the little Q-tips that I had and rip the cotton off the top of it and stretch it into like a really little long piece, and then I just decided to dip it into my latex and then attach it like so. I feel like it just gives it a better effect because I can kind of tear the cotton apart and stick pieces onto other pieces if I wanted to. I just feel like it gives it a better effect, but to each his own. So we're just tearing pieces and attaching them like so. You can use tissue paper or cotton swabs. Just kind of pull on your pieces and make sure they're not getting stuck to your mouth like they're kind of getting stuck to mine. We want to kind of give the illusion that it's skin and that we don't have a mouth on the inside. Like you can kind of put your little finger through there. You don't really want it to be attached to your mouth too much, and because we're going to be going back over a lot of the white with the black paint just to kind of make sure that our mouth is covered.
So then, why?
Okay, so after we've applied all of our cotton swabs and our little flesh pieces, we're going to take a little spatula and just kind of make some little slits at the top. We are going to kind of go over that with some black paint and black shadows to kind of give it more of a creasy effect. I'm also kind of taking the spatula and poking it around just to kind of make sure that those pieces aren't being stuck to my mouth, because I told you guys we're going to be going in with the black and repainting everything.
By creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
Okay, so now that we've kind of pulled all of our pieces up, what I'm going to do is really start shoving my spatula on the inside and kind of pulling up the pieces around the ends and just kind of making sure that it's kind of off my face. So you really kind of want to be careful because it is going to be stuck to your face and it is going to feel like you're just yanking your skin. But remember, we do want to give the illusion that it is kind of off of our face and that we don't have a mouth in there. So just kind of pull up all around the bottoms, all around the sides. Just kind of really stick your spatula in there because we're going to be sticking our paintbrushes in there and everything like that.
So then, why?
Okay, so I just decided to add some more pieces in because I just wasn't totally satisfied with the way it was looking. I thought that it needed more just to kind of give it more of like a skin like effect. My pieces keep breaking on me, which does kind of get annoying, but at that point, I just started kind of sticking them everywhere. The more little tiny holes and stuff like that that it looks like, it looks more like your mouth was ripped open.
So then, why?
So I'm just putting extra pieces on the side because I felt like it was like a really harsh line and I really didn't like the way that it was so harsh. I kind of wanted to look like it was blending more into my skin. So I just kind of took some cotton swabs and I spreaded those cotton swabs out this time and I laid it in the latex and I just laid it on the side of my face and then saturated it with more latex and kind of pushed it out more to the side to give it more of a seamless look like it's my skin.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually, it's something that moves.
Then we're just going to hit it with the blow dryer again. Just make sure all of it's dry. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our foundation, kind of whatever foundation you guys have, and I just put it at the bottom of my beauty blender. And I only put the foundation towards the edges of my little mouthpiece that I have going on, just to kind of give it a skin-like effect and just kind of blend it more into my skin and not look all yellowy and latex.
So then, why?
So here is where I am going to start painting. We are just going to dip our brush in that black paint. And I have like a really kind of smaller brush. It's not really too big. It's more like for details. And I am just going right at the tips and I'm like elongating the tips just to kind of give it a more scarier effect. Just kind of go in and color the inside wherever you see like your skin or any white pieces or yellow pieces. You just kind of want to cover that up with black. Okay, so I wanted to cut some slits at the top just to make our little pieces look a little bit longer and scarier, but I didn't pull enough off at the top. That's why I'm kind of going in and I'm kind of pulling the latex off of my skin all the way at the top. And then I'm going to go in with my scissors and I am going to start snipping and making these pieces look a little bit more scarier and longer. Okay, now towards this part, you just kind of want to take your scissors and cut right at the top. You don't have to do a lot. I just kind of wanted to make it a little bit more sharper and longer. And then we're going to go back in with our paintbrush and kind of repaint those little pieces black. But it's just like a little slit right there, and it'll give it more of a scarier effect.
So then, why?
And don't forget to cut the bottom, guys. Whatever you do to the top, you want to do to the bottom. Make sure you cut those little slits. Okay, I'm just kind of going back in with that black, and I'm going over those slits like I told you guys I was going to do, and I'm repainting some of the top parts that I just kind of opened up and snatched off my skin. I am painting those black, and I am just going over those creases and painting those black as well.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually, it's something that moves. So then, why?
Okay, so after we done gone in with our black, this is how everything should kind of be looking with our slits. Just kind of go in there and fill anything else out. And if you get some black on the sides, on the latex, it's okay, because we're going to be covering everything kind of in black shadow after a while, just to kind of give it that dirty effect. Okay, so I don't know what I was doing on this part. I was trying to give it more of a fleshy look. So I thought mixing some white and some red together would give me a pinky peachy kind of color, but it just came out very, very high pink. And I really kind of didn't like it, but I had already put it on there, so I was like, I'm just gonna kind of put a few more pink pieces in here to make them look normal. But this part is optional. You do not have to do this. If you do have more of a peachy skin like color, you can kind of paint that all over your face. I was waiting for the flash palette to come in, but it didn't come in. So I was trying to make my own colors, but it didn't really work out too well. So I am just going to try and mix the pink in, as you see me kind of doing now, and kind of rubbing it out to make it look like it's a little faded. And at this point, I just decided to give up on the pink, and I just started going in with the shadows. I didn't care anymore. So I'm just taking my electric palettes, and I'm picking up that red shade, and I'm also picking up these two red shades in my Morphe 35 in palette. And I'm just starting to kind of buff it all around the edges, just to kind of give it an irritation look. I want our skin to look like it's super duper irritated. So I am just taking those reds and I am just blending it all around. You can pack as much as you want. We're going to be packing a lot of it on because I do want it to look like our skin is just really irritated and like we have a caged mouth.
So then, why?
Okay, so I noticed this little piece on my face and I really didn't like it. So I had tried to kind of pull it off, but it started to pull off all the rest of my latex. So I decided to just leave it there and stop messing with it before I ripped everything else off. So we're done with our electric palettes, and I am just deciding to keep those two reds that I had in my Morphe 35 in palette and just kind of start packing it all over our latex piece. And I kind of wanted to darken it up around the edges some more and just add some more depth in there. Okay, so in that same palette, I am just going to go and pick up this reddish brown color and kind of start doing the same thing that I've been doing, just to kind of give it more depth and kind of darken it up.
So then, why?
Okay, so I'm going to go in my same palette and picking up these brown shades. I am just going to start swirling that all over our latex, because we're going to start darkening it up and start giving it that fleshy, evil zombie look. Okay, so I did kind of want to give the illusion that our skin is getting kind of bruised and everything, so I just picked up that purple shade and started applying it all over my face as well. Usually whenever we have cuts and scrapes, we usually have like a bruising on the skin, so that's kind of why I'm adding in this purple color. Okay, so once we've done all of our shading and everything like that, I just decided to take a very, very fine detail brush and dip it into my red paint. And I'm starting to draw veins on the top of my face where our mouth is starting to begin. Just to kind of give it more of an irritation look, like our skin is just really going through it and we're having a hard time. And our skin is just dying because we have a zombie flesh mouth. Okay, so I decided to add some veins towards the side of our face too, because we couldn't have them at the top and not on our side. And I also dipped my brush in the blue paint as well and started adding some blue veins in there, just because we have blue and red veins in our body. I even added some on my nose just to kind of give the effect that we're all over our body. And once I paint these, I do tap them out with my finger, just because I want it to look like it's underneath our skin and not paint laying on top of our skin.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually, it's something that moves.
Okay, so after we done about all of our shading and everything like that, I'm just kind of going back in with the black and going over those top creases again, just to give it more of a detailed effect, because I didn't want those creases to go away. Guys, I hit my knee on the table and it hurted so bad. That's why I look like that right now. But yeah, just kind of go in and retouch up your black and add them to the sides and everything like that. Our little fleshy mouth is looking pretty good, even on the sides. Okay, so it's time to get messy. So I just picked up a brush like this just because it will be easier for me to apply it. You can use whatever brush you want to, and I just dipped it into a really black matte shadow that I had, and I am just rubbing this black all over my face, all over our little mouthpiece, all in the crevices, everywhere. Like, you want to get the black everywhere. So after we've been shading for a while, you just kind of want to check out how everything's looking, making sure everything's kind of covered, and then smile for the camera. But everything's been looking good. So if you ever wanted to add any more black anywhere, just kind of do your own little touch-ups and everything like that. Don't forget to pose in the mirror and do scary faces and everything like that. That's not really that scary, but still. Now that we're done with all of the shading, here is on to everyone's favorite part, most definitely my favorite part, the blood. So what I'm doing right now is I just have like a little Q-tip and I am just pouring the dark external blood that I got from mkyie Projects. At first I just started kind of rubbing it all over with the Q-tip, but it was kind of taking a while. So I had just started kind of like dapping it with my finger, and I kind of liked how it kind of gave that blend effect too. I just start pouring this on like crazy. You can kind of pour it on however you want to pour it on. Just make sure that you get the blood everywhere. And don't think that we done all the shading and now we're just going to cover everything up with blood. Every little detail and step that we do kind of goes to creating the look and how it looks now. If we didn't do all the shading and everything like that, it wouldn't be looking as real and fleshy as it does now. So yeah, just apply the blood everywhere. I'm also applying it on my nose just because I thought that it would look cool just to have a little bloody nose. And I kind of made sure I applied the blood all in the creases of where my nose is and at the top, because at the top it did kind of start coming off a little bit, and I did have to put some spirit glue at the top of it just because I had took a little break and I was talking and laughing. So whenever you use the latex, just kind of make sure you don't smile as much and you don't laugh as much. I did take the blood up my nose as it was like a highlighter or something like that, just because I thought it would be cool. Okay, so I just started getting a little too crazy with the blood on the sides. I kind of went up too high, but then I kind of liked it because I felt like it made it look like it smiled a little bit or something like that with the blood. I don't know. I liked it. But you can put as much blood as you want to at the top, and I just blended it out right there on the edges. So I felt like that my look wasn't finished, so I just kind of put some blood on my fingers and dragged it down my neck to kind of give it the illusion that I've been clawing at my neck and stuff like that. So yeah, I just put the blood on my fingers and ran them straight down my neck. I didn't really want them to be looking too everywhere. I kind of liked how the lines were looking, so I made sure I put my fingers back in the same spot and drug it down my neck.
So then, why?
And this is how we came out looking after we are finished and we've applied our blood everywhere. Alright, and this look would not be finished without some bloody hands. So after you applied blood all over your hands and everything like that, you are finished. Just want to take some poses after this and take some pictures and everything like that. But this is our finished look, guys, and I hope everybody's enjoyed my videos, and I really enjoyed doing it. See you guys later.